Hello everyone, welcome to our channel Public Cloud Design Tips and Tricks. In this channel, we generally discuss about public cloud design problem statements and their related solution. Today, we are going to discuss about AWS Transfer family. The problem statement: how to realize AWS file transfer capabilities in AWS world. And the solution which has been provided by Amazon Web Service is AWS Transfer family. Now let's try to understand what is AWS Transfer family. It is a fully managed file transfer capabilities, a service which supports SFTP, FTP, FTPS, AS2 directly to and from AWS S3 and AWS EFS service. It enables workflows to monitor, automate and migrate files. It also helps you to maintain existing client-side configuration for authentication, access and firewall, so that less configuration activities which needs to be done. Now, let's try to understand what is SFTP, FTP, FTPS. SFTP is a secure cell file transfer protocol, which is one of the networking protocol for the file transfer. It also, during this SFTP protocol, when you are using it, transfer data securely over internet. So it uses internet route, also make sure the data is securely used or transferred over the internet. FTP uses file transfer protocol, uses a separate channel to control and data transfer. It doesn't have any encryption traffic. That means during the traffic, the encryption is not been provided. And then the last one, FTPS. It is just an advanced version of FTP, where file transfer protocol over SSL. That means encryption and traffic via TLS and SSL methodologies has been provided. So these are all basic fundamentals of SFTP, FTP and FTPS. Now let's try to understand why to use AWS Transfer family. Let's try to understand that you want to establish a file transfer capabilities across your organization. For that, what you have to do, you have to host a file transfer service in your virtual machine. You have to do the operational setup. You have to manage your infrastructure, patching services, monitoring for uptime and availability. Everything has to be done by you. Now, to realize these capabilities, developer has to work on more on the configuration side rather than the development side. So to realize this efficiently, AWS has provided AWS Transfer family, which is a managed service where you do not have to take care of all these operational managing and patching, monitoring capabilities. These are all been inbuilt provided. You just have to leverage them to develop your solution or to initiate your solutions. Now let's try to understand this use case. Now, as you understood, AWS Transfer family is currently hosted inside the VPC. Now let's try to understand, if somebody across internet wants to access this AWS Transfer family to share the file, how securely he can do that. And that is why AWS has provided VPC endpoint. And this VPC endpoint has been linked to the AWS Transfer family and also linked to a elastic network interface. Via this ENI, a client will be connecting to VPC endpoint securely. It also used custom managed user root as well as service managed user root. You can authenticate your user via the username credential or username SSH key. So with this, you can securely connect to VPC endpoint and also to AWS Transfer family over the internet, where your traffic will completely in your current control or in your current network. But when you look into this AWS Transfer family to S3 bucket, there you do not need any VPC endpoint, because the traffic will always remain inside the AWS network. It will never go to the internet. That is why you do not need an extra VPC endpoint here. So if you see the end-to-end connectivity, the SFTP client is trying to connect with the elastic network interface card, and via this you will connect to the VPC endpoint, and from this VPC endpoint you can connect to AWS Transfer family, and AWS Transfer family will store or transfer the file to S3 bucket directly with the straight configuration. So this is how a client setup has been configured with AWS Transfer family. Now, if you look into the pricing part, then as you understood, is AWS Transfer family supports different protocol. So you have to pay per protocol type as well as the data transfer volume. So number of data or file transfer capabilities along with the protocol type, you have to pay for that. I have gathered all this information by following this AWS fantastic links. I have already shared these links in the video description. Please go through it. AWS has really provided this implementation in an efficient way in the documentation. To know more about it, please go through this documentation and grab your knowledge, and good luck with your learning. Thank you.